Now that we've created some content for our WordPress site, it's time to look at how you can manage that content using the WordPress admin panel. For each of the main types of content on your site, posts, media, and pages, and also for the comments, categories, and tags, you have index pages so you can see all the items at once and make changes to them either in bulk or find the item you're looking for and then make changes just to that one item. Let's take a look at the All Posts page to give you an example. If I go to the All Posts page, you can see a list of all the posts that have been published on my site. Of course, right now I only have 6 items, but if you go to an established blog, you may have 1,000 items, and you'll be able to scroll through all of those items on this page. So let's look at the different features that are available to you on this index page. Of course, at the very top, you have a button where you can add a new post. So if you're on this particular page, you actually have 3 different places you can click on to create a new item. Directly underneath the title, you have some filters. Here you can either look at all the posts, just the published posts, and you can also look at the trash. If you had any posts in draft format, you would also have a draft option here. So you could see all posts and only draft posts and only published posts. Next, you have a drop-down where you can select to either do bulk actions on all the selected posts, edit all the selected posts, or move all the selected posts to trash. And we'll look at these features a little later on. If you choose any of these options, you have to click Apply to make them happen. Next to the Actions button, you have Filters, and here you can filter the posts based on dates, and you can also filter them based on the categories. So if I only want to see what's published under the photography category, I simply select photography and click Filter. And WordPress will filter out anything that's not under the photography category. Once you have hundreds of posts, this becomes a very valuable feature. If you're looking for a specific post, you can also do a free text search here. And this free text search will allow you to search through all the posts on your site and find exactly what you're looking for. So if I type in fork, for example, and click Search Post, I'll only find the posts that have the word fork in them. By default, the display of the post is as follows. Each of the posts is listed starting with the post format. If a format is applied, you can see this post has the link format applied. You then see the title of the post. You have an edit button for full editing. You have a quick edit button for quick editing. You have a trash button to trash the post. And you have a view button that allows you to view the post on the front end of the site. Next, you have the name of the author. You have what categories and tags are applied to this particular post. The number of comments, which also links you directly to the comments for this particular post. And finally, the date. If you want to get more information about each post, you can change the display from the list view to a more expanded list view with this button up here in the right-hand corner. This also displays the beginning of your content or your excerpt for this post. So now you can actually read part of the post, but of course this also makes the list much longer. If you want to change what is displayed in this index, you can go to Screen Options. And here you can toggle on and off all the different features. So for example, if I don't want to see the tags, I can simply uncheck tags and they disappear. By default, there aren't all that many options. But when you start adding plugins to your site, chances are some of those plugins may add additional columns to this display. And in some cases, it becomes too much. In that case, you can go up to Screen Options and turn off the features you don't want displayed, so it becomes less of a cluttered experience. Inside Screen Options, you also have a very interesting feature that allows you to change the number of posts that are displayed on each index page. Because when you get more posts, you'll go down to the bottom and then you'll get a navigator that allows you to navigate to the next 20 or the previous 20 posts. You may wonder why you would want to change the number of posts displayed, but it has a very practical use. Let's say, for example, you want to change the author of 200 posts and you have a total of 900 posts within your blog. In that case, you want to do a bulk action on all the posts with a certain author. You would go down and filter the posts based on that author, but then you would have to go through all the posts in 20 post increments and it would take a long time. What you can do instead is change the number here from 20 to say 100, and then you do the same bulk action, but you would do it to 100 posts at a time instead of 20, and that would make it a lot easier. Now that you understand this index page, you'll see that the index page format is duplicated throughout WordPress. If I go to Pages and All Pages, you'll see we get much the same experience. Of course, there's less information because pages don't have categories and tags. But you see all the other types of information that are available, and you can edit the content in exactly the same way. But you're not restricted to only editing the posts and pages themselves. You can also edit other elements like categories. If I go back to posts, you see that under posts, I also have the options for categories and tags. And these are the index editors for your categories and your tags. If you go to categories, you get the ability to create a new category by setting a name, a slug, and a parent category if you want to do that. You can also set a description for each of the categories, and depending on the theme, that description may display on your category index pages. In the list of actual categories you have on your site, you can go to each category and either edit the category, which brings you to a new window which has the same type of information that you see here on the left-hand side. You can also do a quick edit of the category, which allows you to change the name or the slug of the category. And you can go view the category. This will take you to the front end of the site and display all the posts that are under that particular category. Maybe most interestingly with this category page is the number of posts link on the right-hand side here. If you click on this link, you'll be taken to the posts page filtered for the category you're currently looking at. So you won't see all the posts, you'll only see the posts that are under that particular category. This can be very useful if you're, for example, looking for a specific tag and you want to know which posts are under that particular tag. You can go into the tag view, which looks exactly like the category view, and click on the number of posts for the particular tag you're looking for, and you are taken to the index for just that category. Understanding how these index pages work and understanding how you can use their different capabilities to access the information you're looking for will become very valuable once you start populating your site with a lot of content. So take the time to click through the different options and familiarize yourself with the different index pages so you have a clear understanding of how all this fits together. The post and page editors inside WordPress are powerful tools, but sometimes they're a bit heavy-handed, especially if you're only making small changes to the attributes surrounding posts or pages. For those instances, you have the quick edit tools, which allow you to edit the attributes to posts, pages, categories, and other elements right from within the index page of that item. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's say I want to change the attributes of the first post here. Instead of going to Edit to go to the full editor, I can simply click on Quick Edit, and this opens a panel where I can make changes to some of the attributes to this particular post. I can change the title and slug, I can change the publishing date and time, and I can set a password for this particular post. I can also change the categories for the post, add or subtract tags using a comma-separated sentence, and I can turn on and off comments and pings. The Quick Edit option also allows me to quickly change the status of a post or page. So right now this post is published, and I can just change it here to either pending review or draft if I want to. And finally, I can set this post as a sticky post. To be honest with you, I actually find it easier to make a post sticky from the quick editor than to go to the full editor, because as you'll remember, to make a post sticky from the full editor, you have to go to the publish panel and then you have to open the status option to get to that action. But here in the quick editor, it's readily available right in the editor. If you make a change in the quick editor, make sure to click update to apply that change, and the change will happen on the post immediately. There are many scenarios in which the quick editor becomes useful. For example, if you want to apply a new category to a set of posts, you can simply go into the quick editor for those posts and apply that new category. Or if you want to quickly change the title of a post or some other small element of that post, let's say you misspelled a tag or you did some other small error, you can go in and change it quickly from within the index page. But there's an additional level to the quick editor. In the next movie, we'll look at how you can use the quick editor to apply bulk actions to multiple posts or pages at the same time. As you create more content and build out your WordPress site, chances are you'll run into situations where you want to make changes to the attributes of several posts or pages. In those instances, you can use the bulk edit option. The bulk edit option allows you to make changes to the attributes of your content, like the author, categories, tags, and whether or not people can comment on those posts. Of course, you can't make bulk changes to the title or content. That wouldn't make any sense. But you can make changes to pretty much all of the attributes. Let me give you a couple of practical examples of how this would work. Let's say I wanted to create a new category called philosophy and apply it to some existing posts. I could go to one of the posts and then create the new category and then save that post and go back and find another post and then apply the category. Or I could even do it using the quick edit option, but instead I'm going to use bulk edit because it's much quicker. First, I need to create the category. So I'm going to go to categories and then create a new category. So I'll give it the name philosophy. And if I want to, I can also give it a description. And to create the new category, I'll click add new category. And I now have a new category. And of course, you see this category has 0 posts because I have yet to apply any posts to the category. Now I can go back to all posts and select the posts I want to apply this category to. So I'll select 2 posts here, why we take pictures, and time for a fork, and then go to bulk actions and select edit. When I click the apply button, this opens the bulk editor for the posts I selected. I see a list of the posts selected here, and if I made a mistake and selected a post I shouldn't be editing, I can remove it by clicking the red X. And then I can make changes to all of these posts. Here I can apply new categories, and that's what I want to do, so I'm going to check the philosophy category. I can also add additional tags, comma separated as before, and I can make changes to the overall attributes of all of these posts. I can change the author. I can turn comments and pings on and off. I can change the status and also make these posts sticky if I want to. And I can change the post format of these posts. But for now, I'm just going to change the category. I'll click Update. And the philosophy category is now applied to these 2 posts. Unfortunately, the bulk editor can only be used to add information or change on-off attributes. You can't use it to remove categories. So if you wanted to take categories away from a series of posts, you have to do that manually with a quick editor for each post. When you want to add new categories and the categories don't already exist, you have to go to categories and create that category. If, on the other hand, you want to apply a new tag to some of your content, you can just do it straight from the bulk editor. Now here I'm going to show you something really neat from the 2014 theme. So let's jump to the front page of the theme, just so you see what it looks like right now. You see the first post at the top and the sidebar. Now I'm going to go back to my bulk editor and select some of my posts. I'm going to select this one, and this one. Then I'm going to go to bulk actions and select edit, click apply, and this time I'm going to apply the featured tag. So I'm just going to type in featured. Now this is not a tag that exists currently, but by applying it here, it will be created. I click update, and these 3 posts now have the featured tag. Now I can go back to my front page and reload the front page, and something really neat happens. You see, any post that you have on your site that has the tag featured will be displayed in a featured panel on the front page of your site if you're using the 2014 theme. I'll address this in more detail later on in the course, but this shows the power both of tags and of this particular theme. And you can also see how you can use the bulk edit option to quickly make dramatic changes to your site. Now that you know how to manage posts and pages, it's time to take a look at media management from within WordPress. Just like posts and pages, you have a separate tab called Media. And when you click on Media, you get to an index of the media library. Here you'll see a list of all the media items uploaded to WordPress. Now, media items are not restricted to only images, though I only have images here. You can also upload other items like PDF files or documents, audio files, and even videos if you want to. The management of these items will be the same regardless of what type of content you upload. So let's first take a look at the media library. Just like with the posts and pages sections, you can add new media items here. You can filter the items from all to just images and other content to unattached, and you can do bulk actions on the items. Looking at individual items, if you hover over them, you can navigate directly to the editor for that item. You can also delete the item permanently, and you can view the item. This view button will take you to the attachment page for that item. Over on the right, you can see the author of the item, so that would be the person uploading it. You can see what page or post it was uploaded to, and you can even navigate directly to that page to make edits to it. You can see how many comments are available for this particular media item, and you can see when it was posted. Now, you probably wonder why there would be comments for a particular media item. And this is what's interesting about how media is handled by WordPress. When you upload an image or an audio file or a document to WordPress, WordPress actually creates a new attachment page for that item. And that attachment page is just like any other post or page in WordPress. You can visit it individually, you can read the content on the page, and you can also leave comments if comments are enabled. Let me show you exactly what I mean. If I go in and edit this item that I uploaded, you'll see that here we have the title of the item. That would be the title I put in when I uploaded the image. You also have a URL directly to the attachment page for the item. You have information about when it was uploaded. You have a file URL pointing to the original uploaded file, and you can delete or update the file if you want to. Scrolling down, you'll see here we have the caption, where you can put in a caption that will then be applied to every place where this item displays. You have the alternative text for the image, so this would be what happens if the image does not display. And finally, you have the description. And here I put some text in just to show you how the attachment page works. If I scroll up here, I can jump directly to the attachment page for this image. Here you see the title, the upload date, information about the image itself, the page that it's related to, and when I scroll down, you see the description that I entered in for this image. This is really important because if you upload an image that has a lot of information and you add a description to that image, people can actually find that image through the text you add. So for example, if you have a graph or a chart and you want to share the actual information in that graph or chart, you can put it in the description for the image, and that description will then be indexed just like any other content on your site, and people will be able to find that image through a text search on Google Images or on Bing Images or somewhere else on the web. Once they find the image, they can also leave a comment if they want to. If you don't want people to leave a comment, you can go back to Edit Media, go to Screen Options, and activate Discussion. Scroll down and turn Allow Comments off. Now, there's one more thing about uploading content to WordPress. I told you previously that when you upload images to WordPress, WordPress will actually make a series of different versions of that image for you to use. The settings for how this happens are found under Settings and Media. By default, WordPress will have a predefined thumbnail size, medium size, and large size for each image you upload. And here you see the thumbnail size is 150 by 150 and will be cropped so that it's a square. The medium size has a max width of 300 and a max height of 300, meaning at the most it'll be either 300 pixels wide or 300 pixels tall. And the large size has a max width of 1024 and a max height of 1024. Depending on the theme you're using, the theme might also create additional image sizes. So for example, this theme, 2014, creates a custom image size for the featured images so that they fit within the design. And you'll notice that sometimes it'll crop the top and the bottom of the images to make that work. If you don't like the default sizes that WordPress ships with, you can go in here and change them to anything you want. Just remember that when you change these default sizes, those changes only apply to new images uploaded into the system. If you want to make these new image sizes recursive so they apply to previously uploaded images, you need to use a plugin that will resize your thumbnails. There are several plugins available, and I'll address that a little later on in the course when we talk about plugins. On the media settings page, you also have an option at the very bottom that's worth taking note of. By default, when you upload files to WordPress, those files are stored in month and year-based folders, meaning if you go into your server, you'll see all the files uploaded on a certain month in a certain year, and you'll be able to navigate through that system that way. If you turn this option off, all your files will just be uploaded into the same folder. So in most cases, I'll encourage you to keep this checked.